Hi guys, here Romy from Musa. Too lazy to set this up correctly, so I'm just gonna record it this way because I just had a conversation about the departed, people who have died, and how I think they communicate with us. And thank you, G, who allowed me to indulge on my theory on this. This is my friend he recently lost his father, and earlier last year lost his mother. And I was just checking on him because I know I went through the experience of losing my father's passing, and I know that there are several stages to grief. I feel like I went through every one of them twice. And I've studied the topic a lot. I like the topic of death. Any Scorpio would like that topic, or will anybody with activity in the Scorpio zones or the 8th house of astrology or anything has to do with Pluto will be interested in the topic of death, in the topic of transformation, in the topic of transcendence, in the topic of the afterlife. Anything that has to do with that would be it's not a scary topic for us. It's an interesting topic, and it's part of life. Is the only guarantee we have in life. And so I was telling him my theory, only from my experience. There's no way I could prove this except for I have this fantasy / theory about it, and maybe it's just a communication from the heavens of how it actually is. I don't know. I do think that those who are on the other side, those who have changed form and are in a different dimension in terms of they left the physical body, and the essence and the eternal stream of consciousness that they are exists in very similar qualities to how they were here, but I guess the exalted expression of them exists in a different realm, and they try to communicate with you, especially if you're thinking of them or calling up on them, or I don't know, if you are seeking solace maybe sometimes, or missing them or whatever. They have a way of communicating to you, and I think this is the important part about this message, which can serve as a balm to grief, or as a way of constructing death or heaven or the afterlife in a different manner. Again, I'm just not making this up right now. I've been thinking about this for years, but I haven't crafted something. But I've been feeling this pulse for a while of them sending to us, or putting us in contact with people that either have similar qualities to the ones they had, or that do similar things, or that do things that remind you of them, or that fill out voids that they left. For instance, if you had a mother that was not maternal, but you yearn for her to be maternal, you will be put in touch with somebody in your life, this random person or a good friend or whatever, somebody, it doesn't matter, a person that would express maternity towards you with no real reason to do that. Does that make sense? Oh, I hope this makes sense. So I know that the people who know me personally understand what I'm saying, because I've been talking about this, especially in the lane of motherhood. Who mothers you is not necessarily always your mother, but maternal love, which is I celebrate you, I'm unconditionally there for you, I see you with the eyes of love, I see goodness in you, I applaud what you do. I always answer the phone for you. So you might have people in your life that maybe not your mother that expresses that to you. So I feel like even actually, this is a little bit more advanced, but somebody that's alive right now, a parent or somebody that's alive right now, who is not able through their actual personality to express this to you, the higher part of themselves might orchestrate for you. I mean, I guess this is all a collaboration with the highest part of you to be into contact with somebody from the exterior to come and offer you that. I've been called up on, this happens to me all the time, that I just randomly check on somebody check on somebody, and sometimes that person doesn't have their mother for a long time, or doesn't have their father, or has lost their parents, or doesn't have somebody in their life or in their network who's taking a role that is a maternal role. I don't do this consciously. I do this intuitively and instinctively. My first revelation of this came after my father passed, and this is very recently that I connected the dots, and I connected the dots actually in front of that chimney when I was unpacking a box filled with gifts, beautifully wrapped with a beautiful paper that my friend from Australia always sends me, or from London. I have this friend that I met in London. She knows who she is, M. And I met her when my father was already sick of pancreatic cancer. We didn't know that he had it, but I met her, and I remember meeting her at a brunch at a really nice place somewhere in London, like a brunch with a DJ, a place I never went back to, and a vibe that I never experienced again, sadly, because it sounds as fun as it was. Mimosas and a DJ and, all of that in a nice atmosphere. Right now, we're not doing any of that. And after you have kids, you do none of that. So anyways, I remember meeting her there, and this was a stranger. I mean, from that person to become this generous, most supportive, most celebratory, most unconditional being in my life. So I started, she started always having a gift for me, and always bringing me things, and being there for the birth of my first child, and just checking on. I mean, it's just the level of attention and of dedication was so disproportionate to what I was contributing initially, and even to this date. No, I guess I've gotten better at reciprocating, but it was something I just can't express it. So this, just backtracking for a second. My father was a wonderful father, but he never gave me one gift. And I always felt like I really wanted a gift from him, a little token of something. And especially like either a little, chain with a heart, or something special for me, not for the other sister, just something special for the one child. I had other sisters, but I always craved that. And I always noted that this person never gave me a gift or a card, celebrating me, or writing directly to me, or dedicating, something, a little bracelet, something, an heirloom. And that wasn't his thing. He wasn't interested in that. But I always had that craving coming from, I remember precisely I want the gift from him to me, so that I can keep and treasure for the rest of my life, and remember how special I was, for king to its princess, father to daughter, whatever, that whole archetype. And I didn't live that with him, but it was a desire that I had. After he passed, I started receiving the most beautiful gifts, the most thoughtfully wrapped and presented and timely shipped gifts, just maybe a few days, weeks before my birthday, for me to open on my birthday, with the most beautifully dedicated cards, beyond anything a friend could say, knowing things about just the depth of the message, the kindness and the generosity of the message through this person. I just can't explain it. It just had a texture that was not of friendship. It was a texture that was of a higher thing. And I give this person all the credit in the world, but I do think it was like the person who could put us into contact, and everything, the way I met her, the way things happened around her, it was just didn't seem like it was going to be, that important of a character, right? And so what I want to say about this is, it just happens that I realized these two people, my father and this person, share their same birthday. And I don't know, something started clicking there, as in almost like a father through this, through this being, repairing or offering that which was maybe desired by me, not lacking, but anyways, just I hope you guys get on the train of this, and maybe these are the subtleties of life. This is the way the universe communicates with you. It's not graphic. It is graphic in this sense now that you realize it, or very material, very obvious. But I just invite you to hear those whispers and not and associate and see the serendipitous part of it, the connectivity of it, the thread of it. I could talk about this topic a lot more because I don't want to discount the credit from the person, but I almost think that it's like this person embodies these qualities of thoughtfulness, generosity, unconditional love for you, and then that person up there is gonna serve this person into your life, and that person is gonna, maybe for no reason whatsoever, take on some qualities or some roles that were either left a little empty or faulty in that parental or maternal figure or whatever. Or I don't know why I'm so fixed on the parental and maternal energies, because it's really the masculine energy of like, I support you, I believe in you, the strength. And the maternal energy is like, no matter what you do, I unconditionally love you, I celebrate you, and I'm your refuge. And so sometimes other people in our life take on that role, and we perform that role for others. Honorable. It should be the honor, the highest honor to do that if you feel. And so that's why not everything goes through the rational mind. The rational mind would say, why would you do that? That person's doing nothing for you, whatever. The rational mind will convince you that that's not strategic or logic or waste of time or whatever. But I feel like the universe communicates to us through those things. And I just wanted to share that. I hope that, I don't know, it just makes me happy to think that way. And it also makes me happy for our children or in the future, when we're no longer here, to say, don't worry, I'll hook you up with some cool people that are going to support you, believe in you, not betray. It's just something super, maybe it's a fantasy, but it's a nice one to have, I think. I hope you have a good day. But that was so long. I should have said that a lot shorter, but I hope you got on the train.